I don't feel under pressure at all. For me, it's about going out there and backing my ability. At the end of the day, if you get selected or you don't get selected, you got to accept that. And for me, I don't see that the Ashes for me was a failure, but I know what I'm capable of doing. I was on the end of a great spell and a great series by a very good bowler, and there's nothing more I could do. As I said, I wasn't out of form. I was just out of runs, and today I had a little bit of luck, and that's what you need in the game. And over there, I didn't get much luck at all. So, I've done everything I can to come back out here and score runs. I scored 100 here in the Shield game against Queensland. And I've worked my backside off in the 2020s to try and score as many runs as I can there, and then come here and apply that discipline in the nets against our fast bowlers and work my backside off there and bat time in the nets to come out here and be able to produce a partnership like that for our team. In England, the ball moves quite a bit and sometimes quite early, so you're almost playing that line of where the ball is, and then it obviously swings or it can nip, so you get into bad positions and you probably play out in front a little bit, where in Australia you can be quite tight and quite late. Before this game I had quite long hits. I hit every day leading into the game just because I didn't get that workload in during that Shield game. I just basically worked on nice and still, watching the ball out of the hand and making sure I was playing the ball underneath my eye line. It was about coming back to obviously state cricket and working hard in the nets there. Just playing the game that I know, especially here in Australia. Obviously had some success here, and I know the grounds and I know the wickets are nice and true, and you know what you got to do early on. And I've always felt that I always try and apply the pressure to the bowlers in Australia. There's not as much movement, and I'm able to do that. But for me, you just have that reassurance from certain people that you feed off. For me, Trent Woodhill's one guy who's always been in my corner, and he's always spoken to me, thrown balls to me time and time again, and always, tells me about being still and if I'm doing anything wrong. I've had messages from Punter, who I work closely with in the World Cup. He was very good. And for me, it's about having a nice balance at home. I've got a fantastic wife, great family, my parents and her parents, and I've got a good support network around me that, assures me of what I'm capable of. Yeah, look, it's obviously fantastic. On the other hand, it was a great opportunity for other guys to step up and show what depth Australian cricket has. And I was chuffed for this guy next to me to go out and get some runs and play the way he did. He was unlucky not to get selected in the Ashes touring group. But to come out here and put that on the board and have that time off to reflect and just get away from the game. There's a lot more to life than just cricket, and I really just love the time that I spend home with my family. You don't get that when we're travelling all the time. You come home, sometimes you're not in form and you can throw the toys at the cot, and that can hinder your relationships. But for me, it was just a level grounding, and I really enjoyed that time off. But I'm back now, and I've got to keep working hard and keep being respectable of the game, because it can bite you in the backside very fast. And it's just about moving forward and keep contributing as much as I can to the team on and off the field. As I just alluded to before, the success we've had together, here, especially here at home, has been fantastic. And as Joe said before, we just had this energy about us when we're out there. We communicate a lot. We're always talking about cricket, even though we probably wouldn't want to talk about it out there, but we do. But the most important thing is rotating strike. I think when we do that well, it's hard for bowlers to put it on the spot all the time when you're doing that. And I think that's important, and I think that's what I try to achieve that when we're out there. If I can't get the ball away, or it's got to be respected, I try and tuck it in on the leg side, or we drop and run, because a lot of the fielders hang a little bit. I know, especially when I'm on strike, so I'm always looking in and around for that drop and run, and I know where he looks to get off strike as well. So knowing each other's roles when we're out there, we do that very well, and we did it the other day in the nets. We had a good half an hour session there where we just said we're going to run if we think there's a run, and rotate a 6 ball, and we did it very, very well. Even though that the youngster here was puffing, it was a good hit out, and we really enjoyed it. obviously quite skiddy. He's got nice fluent action, but he won't get a harder test debut to go out there and bowl at the Gabba, to keep coming back in, having to back up the overs in that heat. You ask any test player, fast bowler that's played here and had to keep coming back. It's very, very challenging out there, and our job as batsmen is to try and keep them coming back. I think he kept his speed up quite a lot throughout the whole day. Obviously, at the back end there, he cramped up a little bit, but that's obviously going to happen. But he charged in, and there's a superstar there. Just like when Mohammad Amir came on the scene the first time, he was rapid and had us all in a pickle. He was a world-class bowler, and I think if you add him to the Test lineup as well, their depth is ridiculous, and having these other young guys like Musa and Hasnain as well, who I faced in the 2020s. If Waqar Younis can get a hold of them and get their lines and lengths and their engines going, they're going to be a force to reckon with in the future.